What up, peeps? It's your super sketch artist Antonio back with another unboxing review. This is for day 2. If you didn't see day 1, pause, go take a look at it. If you didn't watch Scott Porter's unboxings, go watch those, go support him. He does a phenomenal job. But let's get right into it. I'm just going to be reviewing what was shown because I'm so excited about this new collector's Trove set. So first off, we have Monica Rappaccini. She has great keywords. This is the Scientist Supreme. I'm so excited to see this character again. I love villains, so the more villains that you put in a set, I absolutely love it, love it, love it. I love that she gives AIM characters poison. So now the Arnim that we just got in the Black Panther set will also have poison if she's on the map. She's only 45 points too. So her being 45 points is super economical. It's really her other trait where when someone's KO'd, she gets to do a power action and make an adaptoid. WizKids, make more pieces like this. Make more pieces that connect with each other in cool ways like this. So it says if an opposing character was KO'd since your last turn, generate a number 13 adaptoid on click 1. Not on any other dial, on click 1. So you get a full adaptoid. I absolutely love this piece. I cannot wait to play it just by herself. She has leadership, so she gives you some leadership. She has precision strike, so if you do come up against her, she actually can ping you for a little bit. And she gets my favorite power once you hit her, which is mind control. This is a great piece. Great piece. I cannot wait to play this piece. Next piece that kind of struck me that I know is going to see play is Mantis. Now, I am the person where I don't like that the MCU is creeping into the actual Marvel universe, because this representation of Mantis is exactly that. This is the whimsical Mantis. This isn't the Celestial Madonna. I'm one of the best close combat fighters in the Marvel universe. Mantis, so I don't mind it. She does start off being a close combat person. She does have some sidestep. She has mind control. She has close combat expert to help out with the fisticuff, so she can be a 12-3 up top. It's not bad. Again, triple bolt mind control. I'm never going to say no to that. So, but most people are going to play her at 25 points just for 25 points of prob. Cheap prob that has evasion and has the ability to potentially hit you if you give her, again, something like, you know, Bucky's arm or the broadsword. Now it gives her blades with a high attack and precision strike. We don't know what all the other objects in this set does. One of those objects I will be talking about in a moment. I wouldn't equip it to her, but she's going to see play, especially in pulp. Cheap prob is always a great thing. This is a fun piece. The sculpt is nice, but I just like the old Mantis. I've yet to get that one Mantis. I think they made it in one of the last Avengers sets. But I want a Mantis that is a really like just kick your butt, just close combat beast. This version isn't it, but that's okay. Now, talking about the weapons that we just have, we have Ronan the Accuser. Ronan the Accuser is one of these pieces that I knew as soon as they start talking about objects and stuff like that, Ronan is one of those pieces. Him and the universal weapon are, you know, they've been tied together because as an accuser, that's what you get. So this Ronan, though, for 75 points, not only is he a keyword buster, being able to choose a keyword, kind of like Doomsday, and say, I get +1 attack and damage against you, that makes him a 13-5 on top dial. He starts off with run shot, OMG, and pulse wave. So if he doesn't want to pulse wave you, he could potentially just, oh, I'm gonna choose. Okay, hold on. First, I got to talk about the universal weapon, and then I'll go back to Ronan. But the universal weapon is 10 points, so that's great. It's not super expensive. And what it does is, at the beginning of your turn, you get to choose an attack power, a standard attack power. So that gives you access to all the attack powers that you ever really could want. The reason why I love the universal weapon is because I personally love pieces that can heal back. I'm a get in there and fight kind of guy, so being able to heal while fighting through steel energy is something I'm always going to do. Once Ronan starts taking some hits, his values start going down, attack-wise at least, so he can either pulse wave you to get your back, or he can start using that steel energy, or again, activate Ares. That'll probably be on the sideline and get some blades action. This guy is amazing with the universal weapon, which he gets for free because he does have the qualifying keyword, which is Kree. There's so many other Kree pieces that I could think that most of them are Captain Marvel, but knowing that the starter from last year, Captain Marvel, who I absolutely love, who is so underrated. If you do not know what that Captain Marvel does, she either does penetrating energy explosion or she makes it so the energy explosion is 3. I absolutely love that piece. Now you give her the universal weapon for free, and now she can use that penetrating energy explosion with precision strike, or you use her at the higher level, and then you can make it so you can make it so she has energy explode, or you can make it so she has precision strike so you can't evade. Anyways, this Ronin, another great super rare. That's 2 days, 2 good super rares. So far, I absolutely love it. The sculpt looks great on camera. I'm sure it's going to look great in person. Also, Ronin's defense, that impervious and willpower, and 4 through 6 willpower, and when he rolls it, he can reduce penetrating damage. I'm waiting for a Superman that can do this. I am waiting for a Superman that can do exactly that, willpower and impervious. And when I roll it, I reduce penetrating damage. That's all we actually really want. The new 2025 starter Superman can reduce penetrating damage, I think at his higher value. And it's like, well, that's all we ever really wanted was a Superman that can reduce penetrating damage because it's Superman. But I absolutely love it. Also, this Ronin has leadership, as he should. He was in the War of Kings, which I absolutely love, and he has Outwit. So a great piece, great super rare altogether. Next up, we have a piece that I'm so excited to see, but I did not think that we were going to see, which is the Thieves Guild member. Like, that makes me think that we're going to have Gambit again, and possibly his wife, Belladonna, which I'm not opposed to. I love this piece simply because at 15 points, which is what most people are going to play it at, you can play it at 50, but no one really plays the goons at 50, any of the goons at 50 points. Playing them at 15 points, you get stealth, blades, combat reflexes with a 17, so that's a 19 up close, and shape change. OMG, I love evasion, I love characters being hard to hit, and I love a character that can actually hit way above their weight class, which this guy can do. And then if you roll low when you kill him, he can take your stuff. Or you just make another one that eventually when you kill that one could potentially still take your stuff. I love the expendable goon trait. I love that WizKids is continuing to make these. Please, WizKids, keep making them, keep making them, keep making them, keep making them. Next up, we have the actual Adaptoid. I'm so glad that it got pulled because, like, again, the Scientist Supreme, Monica, she makes them. And just on their own, for 25 points, this reminds me of, like, the Omax that got made in Notorious, but these are just way, way, way better. When they KO an opposing character, you don't remove it from the game. You put it on their card on any click you want, and then they have that power set. Monica can also just make these guys if you don't want to pay for them. And then you can, I mean, potentially have another. They have Precision Strike with 2 damage. If you use them right, they could potentially finish someone off. They do have 3 range, which is going to catch somebody by surprise. And they don't start off too good, but when you hit them, they have 5 clicks of life total. When you hit them, they get 11-3. That's going to catch somebody by surprise. And they have Shape Change, one of my favorite powers in the game. Can't hit what you can't, attack. If you can't attack me, you can't hurt me. And I absolutely love the sculpt in this too, like them, like with the face, because they change shape, so them kind of pointing. I'm wondering if WizKids is going to use this sculpt for anyone else in the future. But this Adaptoid, I automatically want a whole bunch of them. Why? Also because they have spy keyword, which means they can be on a Wakanda team. Yes, yes, yes. Scientist Supreme, the Monica can be on a Wakanda team. If you don't have the LE, Wakanda Forever LE set, go get it. Because the keyword cheating for Soldier and Scientist with Wakanda is going to be so, so good. I plan on playing it. As always, all of my opinions are not just based in one format. They're based from everything from the kitchen table all the way up to world. So when I talk about a piece, I'm mentioning them not only for what they can do at the high level, but also just on a personal, again, kitchen table level. And these Adaptoids will see play for me. Next up, we have Star-Lord. Now, I love this type of figure because we've gotten Star-Lord tons of times in the game. I like variations. This Wild West looking version of Star-Lord, I'm here for it. He's not one of my favorite characters in Marvel, but I love Wild West type looking characters, and I love variations of characters. So if you give me a variation, I automatically want it. This guy does not disappoint too. Him having marksman just allows him to have trick arrows for free, which automatically boosts him up his point value. Now, WizKid did this a lot with seemingly all of the Guardians. And something that I'm not liking, if I need to be honest, is don't make the higher point value the less attractive value. It seems redundant to even make it. So at 50 points, he starts with a lower attack, lower damage, and just plain out stealth. And then when you play him at just 25 points, now he starts with higher attack, higher damage, and a moving attack. They did the same thing with the Namor in the last Black Panther set. Namor is one of my favorite characters, and the top dial is just not great. And in this, with this Star-Lord, and with another one of the pieces that's coming up, and a few of the pieces that's coming up, it seems like the lower value line is better than the top value. That should never be. That should never be. And that's one of the reasons why sometimes I don't like the multi-dials on it, because you don't get the full dial of what this character actually can do. You get a small portion of it. And at 25 points, why would I ever pay 50 points for it? So it's called, why did you make it that way? I'm never going to pay. I'm absolutely never going to pay. I still get leadership. I still get all of the things that would probably make him cool. Why would I do that? So, but I love this Star-Lord. He does have the quick draw trait, so you can add him to those teams from Masters of Time that are good with marksman and the quick draw trait. That's actually good. Also, like him, he gives Guardians +1 speed. And if you have 3 or more Guardians, which is so easy with these low point values that they all have, you definitely can give them all willpower, which is great. I absolutely love what they've done with him. Next piece is that Rocket Raccoon. Another piece that this doesn't look like the normal Rocket that we're used to getting. He doesn't have all the big, huge guns, which I will have to mod into his hands because that's just how I want my Rocket Raccoon to look when he's on the map. But he has that cool cybernetic eye looking thing. That's a variation. And if you give me a variation, this Rocket also looks very old. If you give me a variation of him, I love this Star Sheriff Rocket Raccoon. Absolutely. Again, he's another one of those pieces. He starts at 60 or 35. And to me, there's no reason why I would pay the extra, 25 points when I could just pay the 35 points and get moving attack, same defense, same attack, same damage. WizKids, why are you doing that? You have to stop that. You really have to stop that. I understand that's where the game is, where y'all want the low point things. If you're going to do that, just make him 35 points and make him like 4 clicks and just do that. No one's ever going to play him at 60 points just for him to potentially get knocked past all of the good stuff that he has on his lower starting line. Why would you play him? Why would you play it? No one's going to do it. But what he does is he gives Guardians PD, which is great. And if there's three or more, I like that mechanic. I like team mechanics in a team. When you make the whole team in a set, I like that they have a shared theme. He gives you ignore characters for PD. So now when you're shooting somebody, everybody that's adjacent can see that character, even if they can't. So you can have people behind you that still are given PD for him or for Star-Lord. Absolutely love this piece. Again, at 35 points, him just plus Star-Lord that's 2 of your 3 characters that you would have, plus Mantis for 25 points. You already have all the different things that you have. Next up, we actually have Rocket's best friend, which is Groot. I like that they made him a giant, even though his sculpt isn't super big. I love the old Guardians of the Galaxy Groot. That was just super huge. It was a super rare. Love that piece. This one being a rare, it's not bad. For 70 points, now see, this Groot, he's 70 points. Just that. He's 70 points. And when he dies, he gets to make the baby Groot, which I'm not going to talk about because I'll never use that piece. That was a very low light of the unboxing for me. I'm never going to use that piece. But with this piece, if you choose to play him, then I guess he's okay. If you keep him in hindering, he can full move, charge. He's not bad. He's not bad, but he's also not that great, and he doesn't do anything for a rare. a lot of his value is cooked into his trait, where you take him out and you put Baby Groot in. That's also just like, that's a sideline piece that I just wouldn't sacrifice that sideline spot for Baby Groot, but I understand why you would have it. I would more likely play the Baby Groots from the Marvel Next Phase instead of even this Groot. I think they add more with their shifting focus. So it's all right, but not my favorite. Next is a piece that coincides with a piece that we saw on the last one, which is Swarm of Ants. Swarm of Ants is probably, next to Ronin, my favorite thing that was pulled, simply because Swarm of Ants has animal and spy keyword. Again, these guys can be Wakandan agents. Also, they go on the animal team, and if, like I said the other day, I love Falcon and Red Wing, and I love all the animals that we just got in Masters of Time, Super Sword, all those big pieces, Mr. Mind and Beast Boy and Ultra Humanite. Ultra Humanite goes crazy with these guys because they're only 10 points. So 10 points with plasticity, poison, and empower. Empower is so good for cheap 10-point empower. And also, they have a unique modifier where just all you need is one. You get +1 attack and +1 damage. So they essentially give any animal character that they're next to, or spy, or Wakandan, close combat expert. Yes, yes, and more yes. I absolutely love that. Super Sword is going to love, I mentioned Super Sword a lot because I love that piece, but I'm going to be playing the crap out of Super Sword, and these guys, Flash Raptor is going to love them. Everybody that's a Green Torch, all those guys are going to absolutely love. And Falcon and Red Wing are going to love being surrounded by swarms of ants. Falcon will then be able to attack you for potentially 4 or 5 damage from the starting area. OMG, I cannot wait for this. And Ant-Man that we saw yesterday makes them for free, or makes them with a power action, but you don't have to pay for them if you don't actually want to pay for them. Ant-Man can just make them. I cannot wait. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Next up, we have White Widow. Now, we talked about it yesterday about the pieces that can, with that customizable type of play where you can see if you want to play it this way or you play the dial this other way. I don't mind her because she does start with a 19 defend is a 19 defend, especially when you have Outwit and you have Energy Explosion. She's not horrible. I wish she had some kind of team ability to make her a little bit better. She, in my mind, needs Wild Card to really be great, because at 60 points, she's okay. And that's not bad, but it's not great. So that's all it is. I mean, her having sidestep and all right, and, you know, when you KO somebody, you can switch over to a more offensive, version of her, which, again, isn't bad. It's just not great. But she is a common, so who cares? Next up, we have Cosmo. Cosmo is another Guardians of the Galaxy, another animal. OMG. Just also gives you Guardian. Well, then you can't copy Guardians, but gives you PD for your animals. Again, that Ultra Humanite, all these different things that you can do. When Cosmo is like, Cosmo's been getting so much love. Started with the Legacy, then with the Guardians of the Galaxy, big like Christmas box, and now this Cosmo right here. Friendly characters with the Guardians of the Galaxy get protected Outwit. That's huge. Or Safeguard Outwit. I'm sorry, Safeguard Outwit. And then of course, if there's 3 or more, then you modify defense +1. Cosmo starts with TK. Cosmo starts with enhancement to help out Rocket, to help out Star-Lord, and even someone like Mantis to be able to shoot and hit hard. Also, mind control the whole dial with 5 range, which is okay in today's day and age. Starting with +1 defense means that she will have a 18 super senses. It's only 40 points. So again, with her, Rocket, Mantis, Star-Lord, and even Groot, you're still not at 300 points. I love it. I love it because these characters aren't necessarily super strong or durable, but when you put them together as a group, they work so well. Next up, we have Giant Man, and this is not Hank or it's not Scott. It's a different version of Giant Man that we see, so I automatically need him. Again, I love variations. I love people, different people in the moniker and taking up the moniker of these classic superheroes that we've had, these generational superheroes. I talked with my friend the other day, and he was like, oh, I'm playing him at 45 points. I'm never playing this guy at 45 points, because to me at 45 points, he's easy points. And I don't like putting easy points on the field. I'm playing him at 80 with his 19 defend. I'm going to rock it out. You give me 19 defend, I'm playing you. And he does not disappoint. Him having Avengers means he should have a 12 attack with that 4 damage. I like big, beefy, like tank characters. I like that. I like to get in the scrum. I like to just roll dice. I got told yesterday, like, Antonio, you just really like rolling dice. And I was like, I do. That's why I love playing this game, is I love rolling dice. Love it, love it, love it. So this Giant Man is a great rare. I absolutely like him. He has a whole Ant-Man security solutions trait that we saw in the other day. So it keeps different terrain things from happening. But also, like him, I wish he started with his TK power that he has on attack. He gets it mid-dial, and he starts with it on his lower point value. Again, WizKids, why are you making it so he's going to... I understand, yeah, you want him to kind of get into the fight, then he gets hit, then he can use TK. I just kind of wish he started with it, and then it, just shift it over 2 clicks, and then he gets it for 1 click on his lower value, but then he keeps it for his higher value. Make the higher value just as viable as the lower value. I'm not a fan of it not being that way. Anyway, moving on, we have Gamora. Gamora. So far, she is 2 for 2. So Gamora is either 50 or 25 points. Again, I'm playing her at full, because at 50 points, she does some cool stuff. She has stealth and willpower. And if she occupies hindering, which if she has stealth, you probably should keep her in hindering. Once per turn, she can re-roll a d6. So she can re-roll her super senses. If she's with the Guardians, she'll have +1 defense. She'll have safeguard outwit. She'll have all these different things. And she is what I call a bodyguard. If you have... So the way I build teams, if I'm going to build a range piece, I want a bodyguard next to them. So when someone tries to come over to them to keep them from just shooting their lights out, then you have a bodyguard ready to help them out and to keep them safe. Gamora is a perfect bodyguard. She starts off with charge and blades, 11 attack, which is great. Again, I think she's going to be great. And again, they made her special power deep in her dial and not at the top. Why are you doing this, WizKids? Please stop this mode of dial design. Her blades is when she uses it and rolls a 1 through 3, heal her 2 clicks. And I understand why you would do that, right? I get it. I still want it. You should have had it at top. Why? So you can attack the Mystics. Why? So you can, play her with... Well, you can't play her with Cthulhu, but, she might need to heal. I like people that can heal. So, and I don't want to give her the universal weapon, even though she's not a bad candidate for it. But yeah, so that's a thing. So I think that's all the figures that I have. So we got a lot of one-shots, and we found out today that the one-shots for a lot of the one-shots will be, all the Infinity Stones are going to be one-shots. So unlike the last 2 iterations where the Infinity Gems are actual objects that you can equip to people, now they are one-shots. So let's run them down real fast. Space Gem. Space Gem works a lot like, and these seem to work exactly how the last iteration of the gems were, the extra effects if you rolled high. Now these one-shots seem to do that. So with the Space Gem, 10 points to just hit an opposing character with a close attack, place them 4 squares away. I like it. It's not super powerful, but in the right position, in the right situation, just hitting somebody and then moving somebody away is really, really, really good. Again, hit that defend piece. Now get up out of here. Hit that, big bruising piece. Hit them, and then now move them away into a kill box. Next, we have the Reality Gem. I'm not necessarily... I don't know if I'm going to use this one, but it says when an opposing effect would generate 1 or more squares of terrain, you may roll a d6 on a 1 through 3. After resolutions, remove up to 2 of the generated terrain markers from the game. 4 through 6, you may choose the squares that terrain is generated in. Now, with Darkseid being a thing like he is in Silver, this can have some legs to stand on, but I don't care about terrain enough at this moment. Now, in Smash and Destroy, this might actually be a one-shot that you gotta have. I want all the one-shots just because I'm a completionist about certain things. Infinity Gauntlet was my first big crossovers, like big storyline that I got into when I started reading comics. So I want all of them, all of them, all of them. The power gem is next. When a friendly character attacks and the attack roll is a 10 or higher, you may have that attack becomes a critical hit. A 10 is not the hardest thing. It is a hard roll. But when you roll that 10, we've all rolled that 10 when we needed like a 7 and you roll a 10. You're like, all right, well, that's a 10. Making it a crit hit, amazing. This will see play. The power gem will 1000% see play. And I think the last one is the time gem. When an opposing character clears, you may remove an action token from a friendly character. Now, how these one-shots seem very different from the one-shots that we saw yesterday. And I know that we have already seen Loki with gauntlets on. We've seen Hulk, Ultimate Hulk with 2 gauntlets on. We've seen Thanos on the box with a gauntlet on. I wonder if they're going to be able to come with all of these one-shots available. I can't see them making all of them pay, at least even if they just say half price, pay for all of these and still possibly be high point figures. Because I'm assuming all of the gauntlet people are going to be at least 75 to 100 points. I'm hoping, especially like if you just give them good dials and you make these gems, which do some crazy stuff, if you make them, relatively good, I can see them being around, 75 to 100 points plus on all of their dials. But that's it for today's review. I really liked my favorite pieces that were pulled was Monica and the Adaptoids. I absolutely love pieces like that kind of reward you for fighting. And that's what the Adaptoids, and that's what Monica and the Adaptoids do. They reward you for fighting and KOing pieces, not just standing around looking at each other, but actually getting in there and getting some dice rolling and KOing some figures. They make themselves more powerful, and I absolutely love that. But what say you? Are you excited for what you saw? I know some people might not necessarily be. Ronin is not everybody's cup of tea. What do you think of the universal weapon? Is it something that you're going to use? What do you think of the gems? Do you like this iteration of them? Please comment down below what you like. Hit me up on Facebook and all the different places. Like, share, subscribe, all those different things that, YouTube asks you to do. But let me know, what say you? I really, really love hearing what y'all have to say. I love talking clicks with people. I love just picking people's brains for different ideas and different viewpoints of this game that we all love. So as always, it's your Super Sketch artist, Antonio. Thank you for watching. Even for 30 seconds, I appreciate you watching. As always, be good to yourself, be good to others. Go be super.